Let us now look at the sixth model from coding and decoding, where the code for the letters is given in terms of a symbol or a number, followed by a few conditions. So before we find out the coded form for the given questions, we need to check all the conditions and then get the answer. Let's look at the question here. Now, as we can see, for various letters, the codes have been given as shown in the table. For example, the letter M is to be coded as 8, J should be coded as 4, R should be coded as @ and so on. So we find here that for each of the letters given, the code is either in terms of a number or symbols like @ copyright, dollar and so on. And these codes are followed by certain conditions. The first condition is if both the first and the last letters are vowels. That means if both the first and the last letters are A, E, I, O or U, these are the 5 vowels, then their codes are to be interchanged. For example, let's assume in the given word the first letter is vowel as well as the last letter is also a vowel. So we need to interchange the codes for these 2 vowels, and the remaining letters are to be coded as given in the table. The second condition is if the first letter is consonant, that is anything other than vowel, and the last letter is vowel, then both are to be coded as the code for vowel. So for a given word, if we find that first letter is consonant and the last letter is vowel, then for both the letters we should take the code for the vowel only, and the remaining letters are coded as given in the table. And the third condition is if the first letter is vowel and the last letter is consonant, then both are to be coded as the code for consonant. So in a given word, if the first letter is vowel and the last letter is consonant, then for both these letters we have to take the code for consonant only, and the remaining letters are coded as given here. Let's look at some of the examples. The first question here is what will be the code for AMZGUB? So this is the given word, that is AMZGUB. Now as we have seen, the conditions are based only on the first and the last letters. So let us identify the category of the first and the last letters and do the coding as given in the conditions. So here if you can see, the first letter is a vowel, that is A, and the last letter is a consonant, B. And the condition which is given for first letter vowel and the last letter consonant is the third condition. That is, if the first letter is vowel and the last letter is consonant, both are to be coded as the code for consonant. That means A and B both must be coded as the code for the consonant B only. So let us find out the code for the consonant B, that is nothing but 1. So we can say that A should be taken as 1. Though the code for A is 9, here we have to take it as 1 because the condition says when the first letter is vowel and the last letter is consonant, both are 1. For the remaining letters, we need to take the codes as given in the table. Now the code for letter M in the table is 8. So 1 is followed by 8. The code for letter Z is $. For G, it is %. For U, it is 7. And the code for B is 1. So this is the answer for the given word. Let us take the second question. What will be the code for the word GDWZMI? So here if you see, the first letter is G and the last letter is I. That is, the first letter is a consonant and the last letter is vowel. So let us now look at the condition which is given for first letter as consonant and the last letter as vowel. And that condition is nothing but the condition number 2, which says if the first letter is consonant and the last letter is vowel, both are to be coded as the code for vowel. That means here both the consonant and vowel must be coded as the code for I. The code for I is 5. So G can be taken as 5. Remaining letters as it is as given in the table. So D is coded as copyright, W is coded as 2, Z is coded as $, M is to be coded as 8, and again I should be coded as 5. So this is the answer for the word GDWZMI. So friends, as you can see here, finding out the answer is quite easy But the only thing is we need to verify the conditions given in the question and accordingly get the code for the given words. Let us now take few more examples based on the same concept. The third example here is what will be the code for IBHJRE. Now, as we know that the conditions are based on the first and the last letter of the given words, let us identify the category of the first and the last letters. Here, the first letter is I and the last letter is E. That means both the first and last letters are vowels. And the condition which is to be followed for such a given word is the first one, which says if both the first and the last letters are vowels, their codes are to be interchanged. So here, first and last letters are vowels. We need to interchange the codes for I and E, and the remaining letters are coded as given in the table. So to get the code for I, we should find out the code for E, and the code for E is hash. So I is to be coded as hash. B is coded as 1. H is to be coded as 6. J is coded as 4. R is coded as @ and the letter E is to be coded as the code for I because their codes have been interchanged. So E is to be coded as 5 because I is coded as 5. So that's how we get the answer for such a word where the first and last letters are vowels, simply by interchanging the codes for these two vowels. Let us now look at the fourth example. The question here is what will be the code for RPDAEK. Now here if we take the first and last letters, the first letter is R and the last letter is K, and both these letters are consonants. And now from the given conditions, there is no condition which mentions about both the first letter and the last letter as consonants. Therefore, there is no condition for this particular category where the first and the last letters are consonants. So here we should directly code the word by using the codes as given in the table without following any of the conditions. So the code for R is @, the code for P is 3, the code for D is copyright, the code for A is 9, for E it is hash, and the code for K is star. So that's how we get the answer for the example 4. So friends, remember that for these type of questions, always follow the conditions and then do the coding for the given word as per the codes given in the table. And if there is any word which doesn't come under any of the conditions, the coding can be done directly from the table. So friends, these are the various models which you can expect from the topic of coding and decoding in bank exams. But before we close the session, let me tell you, this is a topic which is completely based on the perception of the student. It's all about getting the right idea at the right time. And there is no guarantee that you will get the correct answer for the given questions, as the coding can be done in infinite ways. So remember, when we solve questions from coding and decoding in the exam, you should always take care of the time which you are spending on these questions. If within 30 or 45 seconds you are not able to get the logic for the given word, it is better that you leave the question and move to the next one. Because there is no point in wasting time on these topics where there is no exact method of getting the right answer. So solve these questions wisely or leave them if you are not able to get the logic in 30-45 seconds. See you in the next session. Thank you.